biggest struggle I think we come across is, you know, I want to socialize, but being at a party isn't conducive to my recovery because there's drinking and other substance use, and, you know, that's not helpful if I'm trying to not do those things. So a lot of it is finding other ways to socialize, and that's, I think, the biggest struggle is like, how can I meet new people, and how can I meet people that will relate to me and won't think that I'm like, you know, different or weird because I'm not drinking or I'm not using other substances.
I spent every day high, which wasn't really a new phenomenon, but like, I don't know if you guys know what a dab rig is, but that was regularly used by me pretty much every day. And that's a lot of THC. Those people I used with, I just can't be around anymore if they're still using. And I'm lucky where I had a large group of friends already from CIP who didn't smoke or drink. So I have already a good network of people who are clean, but they're not addicts, so they don't understand what it's like to fight a physical want to get fucked up. It's kind of why I feel a little disconnected from a lot of my classmates, is I'm like, I hear like what they say, and they're obviously alluding to smoking on the weekends, and I'm like, I can't be near these people emotionally.
Just something in my health changed. I kind of have all these like little problems that were just like random, and we'd address them, and then you know, I'd kind of keep going. And then it was like really big, really sudden. I lost feeling below my knees and both legs, and developed a lot of GI problems. And we ended up, after a lot of time seeing doctors, I was diagnosed with, I have gastroparesis and Ehlers-Danlos are some of my like biggest conditions. And as I said earlier, I have a feeding tube for my gastroparesis. So that takes up a lot of time and care. But that was like huge. That took every normal college activity and threw it out the window. But that made the only activity that I felt comfortable doing is like drinking at home. So I would invite people over and we'd just like drink in my apartment. And that was like, you know, I just didn't feel comfortable like going to like group events or anything, because I knew there was like this like, everyone's like holding their breath around me, right? Like they don't want to say or do the wrong thing because I'm like visibly disabled, and that puts like a higher edge to everything. And that was like, okay, like I'm managing that. But then I started drinking a lot, and I realized like drinking like helps with chronic pain in a way that is a lot quicker than like medication, but obviously with worse side effects. So that's why people who are in chronic pain just aren't drunk all the time. Then I had it was definitely the most like, that was like when my, you know, outlook on alcohol changed. Was went to a party and just was, I just got way too drunk way too quickly. But I had this like really intense fear of like coming down from being drunk. So I would just like keep drinking so I could keep staying drunk, because it was like a really good outlet for a lot of things. I was like, my whole life has changed with this like chronic illness. You know, I'm in a new place. Like I was in, you know, one of the safest places I've ever lived. And I think that brought up like when you stop being in fight or flight mode, that's like a really weird experience. So all of those things I just like didn't want to feel, and that was a great way to not feel them. Just like there were like a lot of specific things that I did that I don't remember, and waking up and hearing that was just so alarming, because I was like, that is like, you know, kissing a stranger is like very much not me. Like that's not something I would just go up and do. And just like a lot of those things where I was like, that is like not who I feel like I am. So it feels really weird to hear other people being like, this is what you did, and I did it, but I don't remember it. And it was hard because I really just had to be like, give it a couple of days and you'll feel less like super guilty and ashamed that this happened. And that was it. Like nothing helped, because it was like completely my fault and there wasn't a good reason for why it happened. I went and apologized to all the people at the party the next day, and just like, a lot of addicts have this experience of like, it's like the walk of shame part 2. Like when you have to go by and like, sorry, I ruined your party and drank all your alcohol and did this. And so I think it's like, when I realized that it was affecting more than just me, that was when I was like, whoa,